In the meantime, we'll go up to 16 and take a look at So Young Yu for birdie.
Yeah, and 0 for 2 so far in this group. Ataya Titical also missed her birdie putt. But you got to get one. Very nice.
Early highlights, we will start with Rounding Yin. Nice birdie look here at the 9th.
Toughest hole location on this 9th hole, front right, but Roning making it look easy.
69 to match her 65 yesterday, but this, Morgan, the story of the day so far, 19-year-old Lucy Lee.
In the fields, off of a top 10 finish last week in Canada. Really playing well.
As we go over to 18, and this is Brooke Henderson putting with the flag stick in for a nice birdie to complete a second round 66 for her, and so she'll get in the clubhouse at 4 under, but that is 5 back of the lead. And Pressel, Karen Staples on holes, Kay Cockrell and Paige McKenzie on the golf course as we take you out to the golf course and find Lucy Lee on the tee at the par 3 6th hole with another beauty.
Yeah, a little 5 hybrid right there. 178 yards today, so truly an excellent shot on this par 3.
It was fun to see her make a lot of those putts yesterday.
Well, to 11, and we can welcome in Karen Staples.
Well, it's good to be here, and Pedersen on this 11th hole with her second shot. Hole location tucked down on the right today, can use the slopes of the green to get it close, but she's looking to bounce back at a bogey at her first hole of the day, the 10th, where she 3-putted.
I mean, she played really well last week as well. A couple rounds in the 60s on the weekend to move her way up into a top 10. The regulation change that allowed non-members.
Quite unusual consecutive par 5s to finish the round here, 17 and 18 at Highland Meadows Golf Club. Not something you see often, but certainly allows for some scoring opportunities here.
Well, just before we went off the break, we saw Pedersen hit her second shot into the 11th, and she's trying to bounce back from that bogey at 10th. This for birdie. Oh, yes. Pouring it right in the heart of the hole. And this 11th hole was the hardest hole on the golf course yesterday.
All right, Tanya Gunn is playing her 3rd into this par 5.
Yeah, forced to lay back and give herself more of a full shot. Really nicely done. It's very elevated and blind there on 18.
We're going to go to the 7th, and Mariah Stackhouse with her 3rd shot.
Yeah, 122 yards, and pin's very accessible at this location.
It is. This hole playing easier today, Paige, because of that hole location.
Pretty healthy yardage left for her second, 175 yards.
Off a downhill lie, but that's because she hit a long iron off the tee to ensure accuracy.
Okay, well, while they look at that, let's go back to 7.
And Lucy Lee's shot.
Another really accessible shot. Taking advantage.
Well, Lucy Lee playing extremely well today. Yesterday, it was all about her ball striking.
Yeah, well, Nasa Hataoka will be first to play, okay?
You could not put the ball down and place it in a better spot. Long, straight drive, perfectly level lie to hit her wedge off of. Little bit of wind picked up just as she hit, hurting slightly. This birdie putt just slightly uphill, might try to pull to the right. At least she'll start with an easy par. Sometimes it takes a couple of holes just to get the real good sense of the speed.
This is the 7th, and Lucy Lee for her birdie.
Yeah, and just misjudge that speed. It's a little bit back up the hill, even though it's back towards the front of the green.
Slightly uphill, very straightforward, the type you might make.
Oh, good call, Kay. Very nearly.
Minjee hits a lot of greens in regulation, but she still has a very nice short game, and it came into play right off the bat.
Just left that one on the low side.
If she can really get this putter heated up, I think that she can definitely contend this weekend.
Head over to 8, and Lucy Lee on the tee at this par 3.
Yeah, got an 8-iron in hand. Hole location on the right side, and it evaporates pretty quickly past the hole, so she's got to be conservative with this.
I don't know if there's much conservative in Lucy's game, Paige. front part, there's a little bit of a rise to get to the green, and then once you get on the green, everything slopes back towards the middle of the green. Tough to get a lot of spin on this shot. It just lands slightly on the downslope and releases back. That's pretty typical for the 14th hole.
Well, let's head over to the 12th and check in with Jennifer Chang for birdie, which she converts for her first one of the day, gets to 1 under for the day.
No practice rounds, but looks like she's going to make the cut here.
We got a 13, and Emily Pedersen for a par, which is unusual with this whole location, normally yielding plenty of birdies, and that's going to be a painful bogey. That's a good-looking putt. Lexi, there are only 6 players in the field that have a better putts per green in regulation number than Lexi did yesterday.
11th hole, and just to walk away with the bogey, that's fortunate.
As we go to 14, and Emily Christine Pedersen trying to convert her birdie, but that was low the whole way. She's a long hitter, Emily. She has spoken about having to mentally tell herself to keep the driver in the bag this week. As we go to 14 and find Dana Finkelstein at the Dana Open for a birdie to get her back to 1 over, which she does. Trying to turn around a couple of bogeys she's had at 11 and 12 today. Pei Chin for birdie. What a back 9 she's been having, this to close out her round in style. 5th birdie on the last 9 holes. Puts together a nice second round 66 for her. Add that to a 70 yesterday, and she sits 6 under.
The backstop is nearer to the right side of this green, and you just don't want to play down the right side at all.
This looks really good.
Oh, yeah.
I got the club twirl down here, too. She was happy.
There's a big false front on the left side of this green, and everything will slope a little bit right to left if she can get a little draw on this ball.
It sounded good. She caught a lot of ball. Very well done. That was a smart play.
As we go back to 12 and join Minjee Lee.
And that's an 8-iron, which I think is plenty of club. Maybe just taking a little bit off it. Well, she knows her distances very well. That was beautiful. Just a pace ahead of Lexi. Similar lie. Also going with 9-iron. Just trying to keep it square through the impact zone. This also a nice looking shot. Really good.
This should have a good bit of break right to left. You can see she's playing maybe even 2 feet of break here. Just all about judging the pace. It's on a great line.
Just not quite enough pace, but otherwise good. She'll convert the par.
After that tee shot and after the last hole as well, to, you know, get settled in, hit the green, relatively simple 2-putt par, and walk away towards a couple of birdie holes upcoming.
Steady the ship.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how that happens sometimes?
That's golf.
Oh, wow. That was unexpected. You just don't see that from Minjee Lee very often.
Pedersen for a birdie. She started the day at 5 under par, has had 2 bogeys and a birdie. Oh, that just needed another foot of pace, and that would have been another one. We go back to...
Looks like that was a gap wedge for Lexi.
Yeah, awesome. You called it. That was a really solid shot.
As we drop back 1 to 12 and join Ataya Titakun for birdie from the fringe.
Yeah. Only thing to consider here is the speed, and just enough to get up that hill.
Well, what did you do to say to yourself when putts didn't go in, when you stroked it really well, to keep your attitude positive?
Well, I think anytime you make a good putt, you walk away saying, I hit it like I wanted to, and you have to move on.
We don't do that, Kay.
No, her swing is so good, so repeatable, especially with a wedge in her hand.
Thank you. Making us look good, Kay. What commentator's curse?
It looks like Lexi has a wedge in her hand. Angela, what did you hit here earlier today?
I also hit a wedge.
Kind of feels like a flag. You can just go straight out with a wedge in your hand, right?
Yes, I love it. Yesterday, the tee was back about 30 yards. Today, you walk up and you have a wedge in your hand, staring right at it. That's a lot of fun for a player.
Yeah, and the tee moved up a good 30 yards. This wedge as well.
Yeah, there's just that little bit of a downslope on the front part of the screen, even with the wedge in your hand.
Go to the 13th, and this is Ataya Titakun.
And coming out of the first cut with pitching wedge, it's actually beneficial maybe to be out of the first cut. She doesn't have to worry so much about spin control.
Oh, lovely
nicely
shot.
judged.
Yes. I mean,
Back on the green at 14 with our defending champion.
Oh, Angela, that's 2 in a row that looks like she stroked well and hasn't got rewarded.
Yeah, that was a great putt. It should have leaked a little left. It looked like it missed that on the left side, but great shot and great putt.
Putt's hitting them right where she wants to, and just barely missing out. That another one that easily looked like it could have fallen.
I think hers is going to be a little straighter.
You birdied this hole earlier today as well.
Yeah, this should... Good roll.
It just lost that speed a little bit. And I think that's the one thing, Morgan, that you see out of Lexi. Sometimes it's just not quite aggressive enough.
That was just left all the way. It looked like that was almost where she was set up. Almost kind of looked like that was where she wanted to hit it, but like that, you wouldn't want to give the hole away in that situation.
Just making a good stroke.
very good.
Yeah, just a pitching wedge today with this tee moved up. And players just trying to cover the front portion of the screen for sure, which is 11 paces on today. So looking at 122 at least. For the fairway bunkers and the bunkers around the green, so I think she can get a solid hit on this ball.
Going with the wedge, and that sounded good.
That was really good.
As we go back to 14, Paige, and find Saganda for birdie.
Yeah, and any speed control she may have in trying to get the ball to the hole should be helpful, because this one's downhill. Yeah, that's enough. She didn't have much green there, that bunker shot, so I think it was more difficult than it looked. Gosh, what a great putt.
That's a nice way to salvage a mistake.
Yes. As we move up to 18, enjoy Brittany Altamara with her third. Nice.
The last stroke on the last hole, the par 3, looked a little unusual for her. That was good.
Yeah, that was much better. She did say after her round yesterday that she needed to focus a little bit more on her reads. That's right. I think people just going into that bunker on the right. But we go back to the 11th, and Elaine Crowder, they're playing in her first tournament as a professional, shot 5 under par yesterday. Started with a bogey today on the 10th, but has rebounded nicely with a birdie there at the 11th.
Even with the wind helping, I think she can carry it. She needs to get at least 20 on, kind of gets on top of that upslope there.
There's that lean, Morgan.
So you never really know.
And it was a good one.
Her caddy, Craig Johnson, came over us and said, how about that professional layup?
Taking full credit for that.
I said, you were lucky, Greg. You were lucky.
He was probably sweating walking up there, hoping that it was not through the fairway.
You know, certain players take notes on the greens. I'm one of those, and you know, you look at it and you say, I've been here before, and it gives you that confidence. That was great.
Needed that. She really needed that, particularly after that last bogey.
Well, we go to 17th, and this is our first look at Jennifer Cupchow this week. She's 1 over got a bit of work to do to make the cut, and that will help. That was for a birdie at the 17th. She'll have another par 5 coming up on 18 before she makes the turn to the front 9.
Wow.
How many putts has she just burned the edge?
Yeah, and after seeing Lexi just roll hers in beautifully, didn't look like there was much in that one, but another opportunity missed, and our defending champion stays 1 over for her day today. Back at 16, Paige McKenzie is alongside Atata Tikkun with her second into this par 4.
Yeah, and this hole plays about 5 yards downhill from this location. She's got to go over that tree, but that shouldn't be a problem.
She hoists it so high. She's got a tremendous ball flight.
Correct. It was, I'm sure, a little bit of surprise to be this far, but not in a bad position. She actually has very little grass where her ball is and only 93 yards playing downhill, so a little wedge. Played for the release. Nicely done.
Yeah, no problem. Look at those 3 approach shots. Wow. Great shot indeed for the Englishwoman.
But there's not a lot of movement where this hole is located right now.
Yeah, it looked like a push all the way, almost like she wanted to play it to break left. Just was right of the hole and all the way.
Sorry, Cara, as we go to 17, and Nassaf with her third.
She got a pitching wedge. Again, a little bit into the breeze. Yeah, great shot.
Keep that club moving through the ball. Just like that. She'll have a chance for back-to-back birdies.
Anytime you can get your wedge in your hand, you do it.
Oh, yeah. Great putt. That was pretty awesome. Good follow through there. Held the follow through nicely. There was no backing off with it.
I feel like she's leaving here. You know, she can get this ball in the hole after where she had to take a drop. And that second shot, she probably didn't like that swing. So another reachable par 5 coming up next.
And we'll go up to 14 where we find Elaine Crowder. Well, that would have been a shot she's happy with, setting up another birdie opportunity.
Good for her.
Oh, let's drop back to 14, and this is Elaine Crowder. We showed you her tee shot, setting up a birdie opportunity, which she converts. Just a wonderful professional debut yesterday. She had a 5-under par round of 66, turned around the ship after that opening bogey today. We find Nasa Hataoka. Angela, she left herself in good position here.
Perfect. She has another pitching wedge in her hand. Like she might have hit that a little too much left.
And we'll go back to 17.
This is Ariya Jutanugarn trying to pour one in from the front of the green, and she does. That was always one of the very best parts of her game, I thought, how well she used to roll the ball. We talk about her distance and everything.
Hold it onto that opening green as we go over to 14 and Maria Fasi on the tee. And he just climbs onto the putting surface.
To keep it from coming back down that hill, it's the last thing you want to do, but she can carry this about 145. She'll be good.
Yeah, well played. Yeah, there is some good variety on this golf course. You think how downhill it is on 60 and how...
A good angle to this hole. 136 to the front. 149, 8-iron.
Yeah, well played.
That's usually ideal. It's from this angle, I don't know if I'd take on that whole location. Just put it out middle of the green. She's coming off a hot streak. Let's keep it going.
And that whole location is tucked on the left-hand side today.
Yeah, smart play. As Angela said, just to the middle of the green there.